sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection, and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill. Choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or Omni Lite. Log in to Ecobank Online and Omni Lite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
On Monday, the 22nd of June 2026, you're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, and our guest is Lamin Manneh, Assistant Administrative Secretary responsible for external affairs of the United Democratic Party, the Gambia's main opposition party. Let's talk about challenges facing the country. We can't go through all of them because I'm sure you have a long list.
There are a lot of things.
Of challenges. NAWEC.
The famous NAWEC or the infamous NAWEC.
Their challenges continue to frustrate all of us.
Absolutely.
How does the UDP plan to address the unending power problem?
Very good.
Because
That's
you
the
say
question
you
we
say
want
it's
to
not
answer.
if, it's a question of when
It's
we
when.
come to power.
It's when, yeah. It's not if, it's when. You see, Peter, NAWEC and the government are telling us that we need about 101, one day 101, on the next day 105 megawatts. That's what they keep telling us. We say we need minimum 150 megawatts of power to be sure that the entire country is electrified. And to make 150 megawatts of power, Peter, is not something that's so difficult. A single solar plant can do that. But for strategic reasons, you don't want to do that. You want to decentralize it a bit. We have already a 30 megawatt capacity at the Jabang solar power plant. Even though, funnily, it's producing only 19 megawatts.
Oh.
They say 23, but the actual output is 19.
It has a 30 megawatt capacity.
But the output is 19. Wow. They say 23, but the output is 19 megawatts. So we're losing 11 megawatts just in that Jabang plant. But the capacity is 30 megawatts. If we put in another 4 power plants, solar power plants of 30 megawatts, They are covered.
Yeah.
We would put a second 30 megawatt plant in this greater Banjul area because this is where you have the largest demand. And put maybe another one in LRR, another one in CRR, another one in URR, and maybe even a fifth one in NBR. That way, each region has a solar generating power plant, and we will have 180 megawatt. That is way beyond what we need, because you need some slack. In case something goes wrong somewhere, you have a redundancy somewhere that can make up for it. The excess that we do not use, we can sell. We have the West African power pool. We can sell the excess power to them. We can sell it to other countries if they need to directly from us. If they don't buy directly, we can sell to West Africa power pool. So those are possibilities. And to set that up, we do not need 10 years to build a solar power plant. We can do this in 3 years, maximum. But even 2 years, with the proper people in place, we can build those solar plants around the country. If you do that, we have the whole country covered. Peter, in 61 years of independence, the Gambia still cannot produce 50 megawatts of power? That's a shame. It's very unambitious for any country. I was on a program with the PRO for NAWEC. I think last week or the week before. I think last week. Buba.
Yeah.
And, he went trying to spin a whole lot of things, and I don't let them spin. Tell him, Buba, tell me, how much installed capacity have you got in NAWEC? He said 63. Okay. How much output do you have? He said 47. I said, that's not true. Your managing director said, when you have 50 megawatts of power, you can handle the issue, which means you are away from 50 megawatts, not 47. And that is reality, because Jabang, which could produce 30 megawatts, is producing 19 megawatts.
Do you know any reason for the shortfall?
Incompetency. Oh. That's all.
They are not able to operate the machines to
optimum they are not able to
performance
do it.
levels.
Yes, and probably even corruption, because if you don't generate so much, you have to buy so much from outside, and all possibilities of corruption in there. Okay, and they don't want to push the solar generation, the clean energy, so much, because the thermal generators, heavy oil fuel fired power plants, are the ones that are most interesting for those people who want to be corrupt, because the heavy fuel purchase is where the most of the corruption is. So they're not interested in having clean energy, because the solar power, you don't buy any fuel for that. That's God's fuel. So you don't need it. So they are doing deliberate. Kotu is dead. Kotu isn't producing anything. Brikama was producing about 4 or 5 megawatts, when Brikama has a capacity of about 15 to 20 megawatts. Basea was dead. So we are producing just over 20 megawatts of power, or thereabout, about 20. And they're telling us we have 47. It's not true. And the rest was being purchased from Senegal and Electricity to Guinea, Senelec and Guinea. Why is it that after 61 years of independence, 10 years of the Barrow regime, we cannot produce even 50 megawatts of power? I mean, it's a shame. After that, we received $447 million.
$447
million from 2017 to March 2025. They received $447 million. Not dollars, it's dollars.
Wow. Yeah, we were struggling with the figure.
$447 million.
Larry said it was definitely more than 200, but he did say that when you come on the program, you would
$447 million.
447,
right? That was March 2025. More has come in since. Now, $447 million. If you were to put that just into generation, you can generate 440 megawatts of power.
More than the
just like the roads.
More than the 101 that we need.
Exactly. Just like the roads, highways, dual carriageway, 3-4 lanes on either side with flyovers and tunnels, you need about $1 million per kilometer.
Oh no, they say you are fantasizing.
Yeah, that's what they would say, because there's corruption in there. Check the records. Barrow himself, when they're starting Basil Harding, he came and said, we're building a fantastic road. There'll be roads, as he would put it, there'll be roads above and roads below. That's how he put it, meaning flyovers and tunnels.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive though. It costs $1 million per kilometer.
Oh, he said $1 million?
He said it, because that's the reality. But now they have moved it to $9.28 million per kilometer. Almost 9.5 times. You imagine that corruption? You tell anybody you build a highway 6-lane for $9.28 million per kilometer? You say, are you kidding me? So that's what we're living to, and we have to pay back that money. So this is what's happening there. Electricity as well. It's about $1 million per megawatt. If you do solar, it's about $1.2 million per megawatt.
Oh, solar is more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
The initial phase.
Okay.
But once it's off the ground, you just do maintenance. Okay. You don't buy any heavy fuel. Solar is the way to go. So once we have that in place, we can have 400 megawatts from that amount of money, 440 megawatts, and then you sell the rest to other countries. The proceeds from those sales will pay back whatever loan we take to develop that capacity. They're telling us, we use part of the money to do transmission. I said, fine. Say you take $100 million to do your transmission overhead cables like the rest. You still have $347 million to generate electricity. We still should have had at least 350 megawatts of power. But we didn't. Instead, we lost. We generate less power today than when Jammeh left. That's a shame. And they have these old generators in Kotu, in Brikama, in Basse, and they tell you, the spare parts, governing is foreseeing, planning ahead. You know that you're going to have issues with your generators. Why don't you buy the spare parts before? You know the parts that wear out very easily. And particularly these machines that are antiquated. You will not find them anywhere. They have to build it for you. So you prepare ahead of time and you order them. But more importantly, replace them. Replace them with something new. If we were to go for that, replace some of these generators, we put in gas turbines, not heavy fuel fired parts.
Machines, yeah.
So we can have clean energy even from those stations. And it will be important to have that energy mix. Don't just have solar only.
Yeah.
Get this other, but bring in gas-fired power plants. So you have that energy mix, solar and generation from fossil fuels. So you have that, you have some capacity, slacks and redundancies, and you are ready to go. UDP will make sure that within 2 years, we are energy sovereign in this country. When you come in, there is this initial shortfall in generation capacity. You can't make that up overnight. You will have to pay what is owed to the suppliers and continue to pay to get energy being brought in until when we build enough capacity. The problems we are having today is because Senelec was owed $35 million. Electricity to Guinea was owed 17 point something million dollars.
Half of what Senegal was owed.
Yes. In all, we had about $52 million in arrears to those suppliers. Naturally, when they got fed up, they just scaled back on the supply.
Of course.
And here, no, we have technical issues. That's not technical. The only technical issue is financial. We owe them money we didn't pay. They scaled back on the power supply. That is what we are facing. Now they are managing to pay back a bit, so power is coming back gradually. But why do we have to be so dependent on outside sources when we can do it ourselves? Senegal, in Malikunda, just outside Mbour, they built their solar power plant of 150 megawatts in about 18, 19 months. Why can't we do it?
So it doesn't quite need 2 years.
Of course not. But Barrow is telling us, we're building a solar plant in Soma.
Yeah, 150 megawatts. Do you believe them?
The plants are there.
Okay.
The trouble is, they haven't got the money for it yet. Right? And secondly, you don't put so much capacity in a small country like the Gambia in one location. Strategically, it's not sound. Because if something happens there, you are in the dark. You put it in different places, so if one goes bad, you have something somewhere.
Yeah.
What they were planning there was to put 150 megawatts. The first phase will be 50 megawatts, and costing them, they said, I think $67 million, which I think is way too much already. $65 or $67 million. for phase one, and then phase 2, 100 megawatts, $135 million. Still overpriced in both cases. Now, if you take 2 years to do the procurement alone for that power plant, and he said it's going to take 2 years, and then this probably will start 27 or 28, they wouldn't be here anyway. But even if they were here by then...
We're not sure about that.
Oh, I'm telling you, they wouldn't be here. But the cost would have gone up. Because if you can get it for whatever price today, you wait for 2 years, the cost will be higher for us because the dollar is depreciating every day. Today, the dollar is about 73.5 to the dollar.
It's gone to 73.
Oh, yeah, 73.5. I mean, the Trump war in Iran otherwise would have been over 75 by now. So by the time you do this power plant in a year or two, the dollar probably costing about $80, 80 to the dollar. So the cost is going to go higher for the Gambian. If nothing else, just that mechanical effect of the depreciation of the dollar. So you do these things quickly, and there's absolutely no reason for procurement to take 2 years. So if procurement takes 2 years, you can be sure that implementation will take at least 5 with them.
What's interesting, I mean, talking about the depreciation of the dollar, and the formula you just gave, where the UDP to come into, power with this loan secured and whatever, what it was going to cost, right? They say if you use the same formula, you would understand why the debt stock of the Gambia under Barrow is as high as it is, because the dollar is going down all the time, and the debt was contracted in dollars and foreign currency, not in dollars.
Well, that's on him. It's because of him that dollar is depreciating.
Okay. So we should hold him responsible for the depreciation of the dollar.
Look, just the fact that we have to buy so much power from outside, from Senelec and electricity.
It's not his fault that the population is growing at the rate it is.
Yeah, it's his fault that he's not planning for that population growth. He should be planning for that. When you govern, you foresee for the future. You plan for the future. You don't just sit there in your cocoon and say everybody's happy, everybody's eating well. You plan, and countries are going to get difficult. They are going to be worse. Look. So
you feel if they arrested the depreciation of the dollar, if the dollar were to revalue again to the point where it's 35 to the dollar, we
probably won't take a long time, but if it goes even to 60 to the dollar, the loan will fall.
Of course it would.
You see, just over the past couple of months, buying so much electricity from outside puts a lot of pressure on the dollar. We're going to buy $52-53 million worth of CFA and Guinean shilling to pay for that.
And what the CFA is doing to the dollar is unbelievable.
Exactly. Because we're not doing anything there's no real economy to support the dollar. The formal economy is just what's happening. Informal. We import every year over $200 million of rice and cooking oil. Right? That is a huge chunk that could have been saved here if we grow that rice here.
They're doing something about it. They say they're investing in rice production.
We've heard that. For 10 years we've been hearing that.
And all of that.
We've been hearing it for 10 years.
So that should be...
Import substitution would have helped us save at least $250 million on the rice, oil, and sugar imports. That's $250 million less pressure on the dollar. That's $250 million to invest in the economy elsewhere. So the dollar would appreciate if we have those possibilities. We import less, and we are able to produce more and sell. If we were to sell rice, findi, couscous, in the form of chere and the rest, abroad. And there are markets for that all over the world. If we can sell those, we bring in foreign exchange. We develop the tourism industry much better than what it is today. It's dead. We bring in foreign exchange, etc., etc. So the dollar gets a better standing.
Okay. Every time you hear, we have to address the issue of corruption. It's one of your favorite topics.
Because that's what's killing the country.
Okay. Recently, the vice president, was grilled in the National Assembly as to why, despite the approval of the National Assembly, we still do not have the anti-corruption commission operationalized, and he tried to explain. Were the UDP to come to power, what will it do to strengthen anti-corruption institutions, including the National Audit Office, and also get an effective anti-corruption commission up and running?
It's so easy, Peter. There are so many people of integrity in this country. You just take 20, 30 of them, you vet them, you screen them, and you get them ready. You appoint some into that commission, some on standby, and you get the whole thing moved. It didn't take more than 2 months to do that. Shouldn't take that. We have so many people in this country we can bring to those commissions. So one person gets called out for corruption, and you take so many months to replace that person. It just shows you're not interested in setting up this institution. Yet this institution is what is going to take to move the needle. Because as far as this government is concerned, that's the excuse. Oh, we don't have an anti-corruption commission. But you have laws in this country that can fight corruption. You don't even need an anti-corruption commission. There are laws against graft in this country. You can use them to call to order and to call to book the people who are corrupt. But the point is the people who are corrupt in this country are the people who are being protected by this government. They know who is corrupt, they know who is doing what, and they are covering them up, and they are partly involved themselves. That's why the corruption thing is still there. When you have so many cases being called out in every single audit report, and nothing is done to address that, and the president can look us in the face and say, audits are opinions. What do you tell the corrupt people? Continue doing it. I have your back. Don't worry. The president is with you. If anybody is suspected of corruption, immediately that person the case should be transferred to the police to do further investigation when it's necessary, and then you take it to the Attorney General's chamber and prosecute. But how many cases have been investigated in this country? But none of them have seen the light of day. They get investigated, they get sent to the Attorney General's chamber, somebody's sitting on them, or they reject them, etc. Nothing. How many people have been taken to court for that? Maybe 1 or 2. I know we know of a Banja case. He was a scapegoat. But how many others? All of these things are piling there and gathering dust. No investigation in this country is taken seriously. When people start complaining, say, oh, we have a commission of investigation, we have a commission of inquiry.
So how will UDP deal with this problem? Because it's a problem if you come to power that you will inherit.
No, it's not if, when you come to power.
Okay, all right.
We will have this commission up and running within 2 months. Maybe less than that.
With the same personnel proposed by approved by the National Assembly?
We'll have to review the personnel and see if they're the kind we want. If they are, I'm sure some of them there must be up to the task. If they are, great, we just maintain them. If they are not, we replace them. There are so many people we can bring onto that. You get that up and running. And number one, after that, you give the police enough capacity to do the investigations. Because you see, when you want to kill these things, the investigative bodies and all the other, you just give them limited capacity, so they are overworked and they cannot function. With all the corruption cases in this country and the few investigative police with the legal background who can do this work, it's limited. So they'll get overwhelmed. Get them enough capacity. Move people to that unit. Train other people. There are a lot of young police officers out there, brilliant, who you can send to do training in law schools, in criminology, in forensics, whatever. You just do it quickly. In the meantime, you get expertise from Gambians. There are a lot of retired Gambian lawyers, police officers, etc., who have the capacity. And within the country and outside, bring them in. If you don't have enough from those people, then you look outside. You look from foreign nationals. But first, look inside. Look for the Gambians with that capacity. Recruit them, give them consultancies, and beef up the police capacity to do the investigations. Get more people into the Attorney General's chambers who will be prosecuting these cases, and move it quickly. See, once you do that, impunity will disappear. And once impunity disappears, the corruption will just fall. When people see that there are consequences, that if you go foul of the law, you're going to pay for it, they'll start sitting up and doing the right thing. But what do we hear today? Because it's a free-for-all. But that has to stop.
It's football season. I'm sure you're enjoying the Football World Cup. And I'm sure you like the Premier League. President Barrow happens to like the Premier League too. In fact, he supports...
Maybe a bit too much.
He supports a champion team. They even celebrated Arsenal's Premier League
Can you imagine
success.
Can you imagine
What's your
that?
reaction to it? How did you view that event, in the context of governance and priorities.
I was fuming. When the Gambian national squad, when the Scorpions qualified for AFCON.
For the very first time.
For the first time, and the second time.
Under his tenure. Let's start with the first one, because that was historic.
Yeah. No, and we agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay? And that was, fortunately, we had that coach who was there, who was doing so well, and who got the team together and we qualified. If at that point he had celebrated that qualification with those young guys and their management, I would have applauded. If when they came back, he did this celebration for them, I would have applauded. Or even last year, when Senegal won the AFCON, as our neighbors and relatives said, I'm going to celebrate Senegal's winning of the AFCON. I wouldn't have any problems with that, even though I would say we have better things to do. But I would have accepted that better. But Arsenal in the UK, a team in the UK wins and you hold a party at State House? Give me a break.
So what's wrong with that? What's your beef with that?
My beef with that is that money could have been used for better things in the Gambia.
But they say that's private money.
I don't believe it.
That's his money.
I don't believe it, but even if it were, Barrow doesn't spend anything from his money.
He doesn't?
No, of course
Well, he
not.
spent on Arsenal.
That's what they contend. I don't believe it. But even if he did, that money spent on Arsenal, next door to him is the Edward Small Francis Teaching Hospital. Peter, there are women who just gave birth who are sharing a bed. There are incubators which hold 2-3 babies instead of one. There are people accompanying sick people who are sleeping on the floor. Some of them, outside on the Marina Parade Road, facing the sea. There's a building there, underneath that building. That's where some of them sleep, outside the premises of the hospital.
Is it where the UNDP used to have an office? In that story building?
Yeah, it's a story building, but it's the RVH,
So the UN system used to occupy that building, yes.
So they, for a long time I was out of the country, so I can't remember that, So, but these women sleep out there, by the road.
They do?
Yeah. Oh. And now it's raining, they're going to suffer even more. Take that money and find a way of helping Edward Small Francis Teaching Hospital to have facilities for those people who come to accompany sick people. To help get a few more beds for the hospital, to get more incubators, etc. Just that alone would have made a difference. Help them get a generator, for God's sake. Edward Small Francis Teaching Hospital doesn't have a working generator. Only one theater has a small generator. So when power goes off in Nawek, people are in distress. Peter, when you have somebody who suffers from asthma, and you see how much they suffer when they have an asthma attack, and they go to the hospital and they don't have electricity to be able to provide them with the oxygen they need, they could end up in lung collapse and die because there's no electricity. Somebody is supposed to go for dialysis, goes to the hospital, is there, and they cannot do a dialysis because there's no power. That person probably died. So we will never know how many people died in the hospitals and clinics and health facilities in the Gambia over the past weeks because there was no power. That's unacceptable. And the president has money to spend on celebrating Arsenal when he can use part of that money to relieve those people's suffering.
You paint a different picture from what the Minister of Tourism painted when he addressed the last press conference. I think they called it Mansakunda.
Yeah. What did he say?
What
did he say?
The two of you seem to live.
What did he say? I don't listen to them anymore for that Mansakunda. I think it annoys me. They have to spin.
The improvements in the health sector and urging people to consider the fact that this government cannot continue, giving drugs for free, every time they go to the hospital.
That's the Minister of Tourism, right?
No, Minister of Health.
Health.
Yes.
Okay.
Minister of Health.
This is the minister
because medication is expensive.
This is the minister who, when he came to the government for the first time, said, "I am presiding over the most corrupt ministry in this country." And I was like, "Are you serious?" So I expect him to say, "I'm going to clean it up, or I will resign."
Maybe he has.
He hasn't.
And we're just faced with the reality that medication is expensive.
It's getting worse.
And we should stop expecting that every time you go to the Edward Francis Small teaching hospital, you should get all your medication for free.
Yes, medication is expensive, but that's why you need a government. You put in place a health system. They came around and they said we're going to do a health insurance scheme and got people to buy health insurance for their friends themselves and their families. That never took off. And they said they were going to get free medication, free consultation with that health card. Instead, the consultation was increased from $25 to $100. Medication getting more expensive. That health system never took off. If you do put that in place, you can negotiate medication much lower because you're buying in bulk. You don't depend on these private pharmacies buying it all and you're buying it from them. You go there and negotiate and buy medication for your facilities and you get it much cheaper because you're buying in bulk. And you bring them and people get medication cheaper. That's part of being a government. This government should have been spending much more money on training our health staff. I heard some specialists come to this program here talking about what they are doing in developing specialists within different sectors. And I said, voila, that's the sort of thing we need. Yeah. Do more of that.
So slowly they are getting some things right.
No, you see, for me, there are a few things. Those trainings of those health specialists, I uploaded that. And I hope they don't wait to Professor Gomez, what he's doing in education. Those are the two areas where I say, bravo. All the rest, no. Look, train more of our youth to become specialists in different areas. Train more nurses, more doctors, more health specialists in different areas. And make sure that our hospitals have equipment, have ambulances, I tell you a case. Last year we were campaigning out in across the country.
Yes.
We were in summer. Some of our colleagues had an accident, and we rushed them to the Mansakonko Health Center. They were in so much pain. We thought some of them might have had spinal injuries, and we were trying to bring them to Banjul for treatment. Because the health facility in Mansakonko was not able to handle them at all. They had very good people dedicated who were doing their best to help, but they had no equipment, they had no medication.
They lacked the means.
Yeah. Even a back brace they didn't have. We said, do you have a back brace so I can stabilize the back? They didn't have a back brace. They didn't have balms to massage or whatever. We said, can we get the ambulance to them? He said, we don't have an ambulance. The only one we have is a small one, can only go to Farafenye.
Oh.
I said, why Farafenye? He said, because that's our referral hospital.
What year was this?
Last year.
2025,
around November.
Because now, they're claiming that you have ambulances all over the place.
That's not true.
So they've sorted
that. That's what they keep spinning. It's not true. So we could not take them to Farafenye because if you go all the way to Farafenye and they still can't take them, you have to come all the way back here and take to Banjul. So we said, look. So I called around a few of the clinics here to find out how we can take them they can send an ambulance. And they gave us quotations. And we are going to get those clinics in the morning to send an ambulance to move them. But the pain was so much that people said, we can't wait. They took the risk of putting them in a
taxi?
No. A private vehicle, a four-wheel drive, and brought them over to Banjul, to Brikama.
Did they survive it?
They survived it, fortunately. I was worried. You didn't do this probably because if it's a spinal injury, they might get paralyzed. But they couldn't wait. They brought them. So we should have ambulances for those sort of cases. This is the sort of things we need in this country.
Well, they say they have. They now have those ambulances.
They keep spinning, and everybody who is out there knows it's not true.
It's up to 10 already. Native should be taking over. Just maybe final 2 minutes. Yes.
Oh dear, it goes so fast.
Time is never enough. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Yes.
Yeah.
So look, that's your camera.
Yeah. What we want to tell the Gambians, you have the choice to continue this suffering, this hardship with this government, or you take your fate into your own hands. You have the choice on the 5th of December. What you're going through, nobody's going to tell you. We all know the country is tough. We're all suffering. How many people can't afford 2-3 decent meals for their families a day? How many of you can pay for the education of your kids? How many of you can pay for school fees? How many of you can pay for hospital costs when your family members get sick? You can do it. You know it. And this government is not going to make it happen. So, another 5 years of Barrow, God forbid, because this country is going to sink. So it's up to you. 5th of December, go vote a new government in place. If they don't perform, remove them. The power is in your hands. Government should worry about not serving you, not you worry about governments not serving you. It should be the other way around. The government should worry because if they don't serve you, you're going to put them out. That's the way it's supposed to be. The power is in your hands. And we are going to put together a coalition. We hope you'll support that to move this president out of State House and bring in a new government that's going to do the work this country requires. And honestly, to develop the Gambia, it's not that difficult. When you have the right people, the right commitment, and the right dedication to these affairs of this country, we can do it.
Santa Yala. Looy xaar utal wéef nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection, and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill. Choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or Omni Lite. Log in to Ecobank Online and Omni Lite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.